Hi Rajesh. So guys, this session is all about troubleshooting. Okay. Now, so there will be two classes today and tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow, the session will start at same time, 7:30. Okay. Before we start, let us start with our introduction. Okay. Then we'll continue with the session. So anyone who wants to introduce himself. So we have around 21 participants who joined this meeting. So anyone? Anyone, please? Just an introduction about, I want to know your name and experience. That's it. Yes. Anyone from my existing students who wants to introduce itself? Okay, Tanveer, uh, Ashutosh, Kas has also joined. Anyone, guys? Before we start the session, let us warm up ourselves, right? The introduction is kind of warm up before we start the session.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, Rajesh is.
Hey, hi. So my name is Rajesh Gangwani. I'm having like 8+ years of experience into network security and cyber security.
Okay. So any specific firewall you worked on?
Yeah, I worked on PaloAlto, Cisco primarily.
Right. Anyone else who wants to start?
Hey, hi, good evening. I'm Venubabu Kalluri.
Yeah.
I have around 7 years of experience in network and network security. I majorly focus on Checkpoint and PaloAlto.
So you also work for Panorama?
Yeah, yes, I do have. Yeah, we do manage a Panorama.
Right.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you. Yes, Ravinder, you are not audible. I think you are trying to say something, but we are not getting your voice. Please check your mic. Okay, guys, so let me introduce myself. Okay. So I also have around 8+ years of experience in this industry. Uh, Apart from this networking industry, I am that is my means. I would say that is my part-time work. I would say, or part-time job, which I'm doing, like uh, technical trainings, classes, which I am organizing. Uh, Even I believe you already know, or I don't know. So I already have a YouTube channel as well. Okay, where you will get free videos on PaloAlto firewalls. Most of the videos are related to PaloAlto firewall. We have other technologies as well, like VPN, Juniper, other videos as well, recorded by me only. Right. So again, same like everyone, I also work for multiple organizations, right? Uh, if I talk about infrastructure that I worked on, so I worked on Cisco firewalls, Juniper firewalls as well, and definitely PaloAlto and your uh, Checkpoint, including FortiGate. Yeah. So Today we are going to discuss about PaloAlto firewall only, right? So I believe everyone know the base. Everyone has a basic understanding and knowledge about PaloAlto firewall, right? Because this is a troubleshooting session, right? As I mentioned, this is a troubleshooting session. Uh, Actually, this syllabus is designed by PaloAlto only. If you want to know the exam code, actually there is no exam. That's a troubleshooting course, and this course name is EDU-330, right? EDU-330. There is another course we have, EDU-300, right? So that is purely related to troubleshooting, right? So if you are attending this session, you must know how firewall works and all, right? If you are attending this session, you must know. Anyone uh, who has no idea about the firewall? Okay, guys, if you are not comfortable to unmute your mic, you can drop me message on the chat box. I'll revert you then and there over there. Okay, or I'll answer your queries here only. So I was talking about this troubleshooting part, right? So before you go for troubleshooting, you must know how to manage firewall, how to configure basic things on firewall. Okay, Krishna. If you don't have any idea about firewall, I'll explain you some scenarios so that you can also understand what we are discussing here. Okay. Now, so if I talk about this course, okay, this course is designed for security engineers, administrators, operation specialists, security analysts, network engineers, and support staff. Okay, means mainly the guys who are working on PaloAlto firewall. They are our target audience. If you are doing this, if you are going through with this troubleshooting session, okay. So according to PaloAlto, that would be a 3-day session. But yes, definitely for us, it will not be a 3-day session. But in 2 days, that is very difficult to wind up all those topics, right? So we'll take few topics from this course and we'll discuss here on, right? Uh, so these are the course modules, and if you want to see, if you want to find more details about this course, you can search this course. You can type this Firewall 10.2 troubleshooting, or you can type EDU-330 PaloAlto firewall. Okay. So this course is designed for corporate guys, or I would say IT engineers, uh, those who are already working. Even if you have basic knowledge or understanding, even you have done PCNSA or PCNSC from an institute, you can understand these all troubleshooting steps very easily, right? So you can see that the prerequisites for this course would be: participant must complete the firewall essentials, configuration and management, which is EDU 210 course, okay, or I would say PCNSA or PCNSE, okay. Participant must have strong practical knowledge of routing and switching, IP addressing, and network security concept, and at least 6 months of on-job experience with PaloAlto network firewalls. Okay. Now, about this training, PaloAlto network education, the technical curriculum developed and authorized by PaloAlto network and delivered by PaloAlto network authorized training partners. Okay, helps provide the knowledge and expertise that prepare you to protect way of life. Okay, guys, you can go through with that. Now, platform and support. So we are going to use a PaloAlto network firewall with PanOS, okay, for some troubleshooting. Now, course main module. So today we'll try to cover today we'll try to cover first module, second module, and third module. Okay, we'll try to do this. Okay, so
Hello,
yes, nice
sir. We do have, sir. We do have FI as well. FI training as well.
F5, no, for F5 you need to join another session or separate session. That is purely for PaloAlto family.
Okay, sir. Okay. So that also will be posted in the WhatsApp link. I mean the troubleshoot session, the basic training for FI.
No, I did not mention it anywhere, right? That is only for.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean you are not mentioned, but I'm just asking, like, actually, that for that also, do we get any training for FI as well? I'm just asking you, sir.
No, not F5
Okay.
today. Only PaloAlto.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So before we start, let's do a quick question answer session. Okay, so that we can means we have around 26 participants join now. So that we can understand each other. Okay, and I can also understand how my what my audience wants from me. Okay. Now, okay. So just wanted to ask you basic questions like we know what is firewall, but what is stateful firewall? Anyone wants to answer this question? What is a stateful firewall?
Which is a maintain connection test.
Okay. Anyone else? Just a simple question, guys.
Yeah, it keeps the information which is the traffic is going out, and it will allow the return traffic based on the stored information.
Based on the which information?
Can we call it state table, maintain state table.
Correct.
So basically, you need to have a return traffic, return policy allowed in the firewall. So with this state table, so it will inspect the ongoing traffic, and by looking at the state table, it will allow the return traffic. So we no need to have a bidirectional route allowed in the firewall for this, in case the traffic is originating from a particular source.
Okay. What will happen if you don't have any policy for return traffic?
If you don't have any policy for the return traffic, so by looking at the state table, it will allow, right? Because I'm initiating the traffic only from the one end only, not the other end.
Right. It means we don't require a written policy, right?
Correct.
Okay. I think we can start with this, the topics for the day, right? So we have 3 slides. So as you can see in syllabus, we are starting with tools and resources, or I would say introduction. Then we'll discuss about CLI, few of the CLI commands. Okay. Then we'll discuss about flow logic, or I would say how your firewall takes decision and all. Okay, we'll discuss all those things. So let's start with introduction part. Okay. We'll try to make it this. Okay. So these are the learning objectives that we are targeting for today. Right? Now, There's the basic tools and script that you good troubleshooters use, right? Identify the firewall built-in tools that you can use to monitor operation status, access health, analyze traffic. So guys, these all are some documented things. Let us move to the practical part. Okay. Now, now let's talk about some basic troubleshooting tools. Okay, which are already there available in Firewall, and there are some external tools that we are going to use uh, uh, to perform more troubleshooting, right, or extended troubleshooting, I must say. So in product means these are the features available on your PaloAlto firewalls. Okay, these features are already available. Now, the first one is web interface. So we already know that we have a web interface. Okay, now let me show you. This is our web interface, correct? So web interface already. If you have worked on this firewall previously, definitely you will get the idea, right? So this is the GUI representation of the firewall, right? That is called web interface. Now, status indicators. Okay, what is the status indicators? Let's say these interfaces are up and showing green. So they are showing us a status, correct? Now, connectivity checks, logs, counter, PCAPs, contacts, sensitivity, help, and tech support file. So guys, if you are, I'm asking this question to experienced guys who already worked on PaloAlto firewall. So how to generate a tech support file? How to generate a tech support file?
I think if you go to device, there I think you can find the tech support. Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere you can see tech support.
Okay. So support tab is there. Okay, you can go to support tab and you can see that generator tech support file. Okay, now first let us understand why we require this. Why we require a tech support file. Let's say due to some reasons we have to raise a tag case. Okay, we already raised a tag case. Okay, now the tag guy, when they connect with you to help you out with something, right, they ask you to provide them a tech support file, right? So in that case, what you will do is go to device, go to support, click on generate tech support file. Okay, then click on proceed. After that, there will be one there will one file get generated, and that file you need to upload on their PaloAlto portal, right? So with this tech support file, yeah. Yes.
I think there is some issue in the internet.
So once you upload this file, they will proceed the troubleshooting further. Okay, so this would be the first step. Whenever you raise a PaloAlto tag case, they ask you to provide a tech support file. Okay, without this tech support file, yes, they will help you out, but they will again ask you to provide tech support file. Okay, means they will give you 24 hours of time so that they can close the case. Okay, so that is a mandatory thing. So this would be our step one. Okay, whenever whenever you start a troubleshooting session with PaloAlto, right, you need to generate a tech support file and you need to share this tech support file to them. Okay, so what this tech support file will do, it will capture some data from your firewall, right? It will perform some kind of analyzing on your firewall. After that, it will generate that tech support file. Yes, it is a time taking process. As of now, you can see that it is only completed 40%, right? Now, in product, again, in CLI, we have counters, debug logs, okay, management port and PCAPs, okay. And there is something called maintenance mode. So this maintenance mode available only in this firewall, okay. This maintenance mode is not available anywhere, or sorry, not anywhere, not any other vendor, okay. They have different type of modes, but in PaloAlto we have maintenance mode, okay. Now, if I talk about external tools, okay. So external tools, let's say Wireshark, okay. Now, Wireshark is one of the tool to open PCAP files. Now, what is PCAP file? This is packet capture files. These are your packet capture files. Okay. Now, to open a packet capture file, actually this is a file format. Here you can see that PCAPs. Okay. So that's a file format. That this file format we can open in Wireshark by using Wireshark software. Right? We can open this PCAP. Now, there are some few more external resources we have, like Fuel user group, live community, tech support portal we have, okay, official documentation and help, okay. We'll discuss all of those things in next slide, okay. Now Wireshark, PAN, Acrom, right, and property and inter-community tools, okay. Next is individual knowledge and experience also required, right. Now, let us move to next slide, which is essential or mandatory for troubleshooting knowledge, right? The first thing is OSI basics. We must know how OSI model works. We must know how routing switching works, and we must know how application layer operation works. Why we require application layer operation? Because that's your PaloAlto firewall is a layer 7 firewall, right? It works till application layer. So individual protocol, your network topology, services and traffic patterns you must know before you start with troubleshooting. Next is PaloAlto network firewall, standard technology and tools and as implemented, proprietary components, internal packet flow. Okay, let me not make you feel bored. Okay, now so there is one online resource available on this website, Fuel, you would say, okay. So you can get more information, more extra help, I would say, from this website if you want, okay. Otherwise, I would never suggest this. The best way to, if you are looking for any help regarding your PaloAlto firewall, the best way to go to docs.paloaltonetwork.com. Let me share this URL if you require. So this is the best database to find out any article related to firewall. So I've shared this link, you can save this link. Now, there is another link as well, which is live.paloaltonetworks.com. Okay. You can access this link to get to know more about any specific feature like cloud integration and other Cisco ACI automation API, right? Integrated resources. Okay, let's not discuss about this. Okay. Account management, if you know, if you are working for PaloAlto Firewall, definitely you must have one customer support portal, or I would say PaloAlto support portal, right? Through that support portal, you can what you can do is you can track your cases, right? Let's say you have raised a tag case, right? So you can take care of your tag means take care of your that tag case number. You can see tag case number. Even you can see what your PaloAlto tag engineer has, what resolution your PaloAlto tag engineer has provided to you, right? So these all kind of details you can see on PaloAlto support portal, and this is the URL support.paloaltonetworks.com. Okay, so again that would be an official account. So if your company has PaloAlto Firewall, they also have this support portal ID and password, right? Through that support portal, you can raise a tag case very easily. Just a two-step process, and you need to provide the information. Okay, so this is customer support portal, and you need to click on go to the portal, and then you need to provide your official email ID, right? After that, you will get some type of option again, okay, to raise a tag case. You will find so many videos on YouTube, means how to raise a tag case. Okay, there are so many videos available from PaloAlto to raise a tag case. Now, this customer support portal basically provide you few things, like it will provide you account management, okay, your tag case management. If there is any update available and advisories, you can see all of those things. Okay, tools and resources. So few of the tools are available on this portal as well. Now this is how you can enable the notifications. Now let's not cover this, but yes, this slide also recorded in this video. So let's move to next part. Now, again, the same thing, contact technical support or account manager. Okay. So guys, this is what means. These are some basic procedure that we follow before we start a troubleshooting. Okay. Okay. So submit generated files to TAC within 24 hours. Okay. Status and monitoring tools. Okay. Let me jump to the technical part, guys, instead of this documentation part. Now, in our firewall, we have some health indicators, right, that we usually watch. So I know that few of the people are experienced, they already know this, right? Means we also look at the CPU uses, right, which is available on dashboard. So let me show you all step by step. Okay. Now let's say hardware. Okay, CPU use. The first one is the dashboard. Okay, it is available on dashboard. It is also available. CPU is also available on CLI service logs and SNMP. So the best way is dashboard. Go to dashboard tab. Here you can see that this is your management CPU and data plane CPU consumption. Right, even you can see session counts. Okay. Now interface and HS status. Okay. Now you can see interface and HS status on system logs, counters, and PCAPs. Okay, so PCAPs would be required very rarely. Yes, but on system logs you can check that. Where it is, go to monitor tab. Okay, and here you have system logs. Okay, so you will get system logs like here we are getting so many logs, some journal logs, I would say, or authentication related logs. You can see that. Okay. So this let me not explain the logs in very much detail. Okay. Now, so here you can also check the HS status whether a primary firewall is down or secondary firewall is down, right? Dilip, you want to say something? Have any question? No video? Okay. I think you need to rejoin this meeting because everyone else can see my video. Screen is already shared. Sharing mode.
Yes, sir. It is.
Yeah. Okay. Then you can rejoin. Okay. Now, data plane and management plane status. Okay. So data plane and management plane status you can check on CLI service logs. I'll let you know how to check this. Okay. And debuggs. Now, configuration, invalid system parameters, invalid configurations. You can check, right? How you are going to check if the configuration is invalid. If I talk about GUI part, go to commit option. And there is one option available called validate commit. You click on validate commit. So what your firewall will do, it will check, it will validate, it will temporarily implement all those changes on firewall and it will validate if everything is fine. If something is wrong, it will show you this kind of error. So it says result is failed and these are the details. Okay. Now partial changes to validate changes to configuration by administrator admin. Okay. Now device config, high availability, group is missing. Group ID is missing. So you need to fix this error. This is your next error. And this is your third error that you have to update. Fourth error, fifth error, sixth error, seventh error. So there are total 7 errors we have, right? So you need to fix all of those errors to get this result successful. Now, warnings, yes, warnings you can ignore as of now. Okay, but these details you need to fix. Now, so invalid system parameters and invalid configuration, we can check like that. Now, next is network, DOS and zone protection alerts. Okay, so let me explain you this scenario, DOS and zone protection alerts. So let's say we have a firewall. Okay, and we have few hosts as well. Okay, so these hosts are connected with one switch, and this firewall is connected with the internet. Clear? Now, I'm talking about this scenario, DOS and zone protection alerts, means how you will get zone protection alert. Okay. So to get this zone protection alert, let's say someone from internet, we have X user, right, who is trying to perform some kind of DOS attack. Okay. As if you don't know what is DOS attack, you must go through with it. It is, so there are lots of videos and information available over the internet regarding a DOS attack. Okay, let's say this X user trying to perform this DOS attack. Now, how we can configure an alert scenario on our firewall, right? So what things we need to configure so that we'll get some alert. Let's say this is my admin computer. Okay. So whenever any attack performed on this firewall, we'll get a notification from firewall. Now, if I talk about this notification scenario, notification scenario, for that we have to configure SNMP. Okay. So anyone can you please explain what is SNMP? Okay. So SNMP is a kind of protocol right, that helps you to uh, that perform kind of polling. Polling we is the right word to say for SNMP. Okay. What is polling? Okay. Let me show you an SNMP scenario. That's a configuration. That is, so first let us understand what is SNMP. So there are a few points. Okay, SNMP allows to remote monitor of SNMP allowable device or a network. Right, this is SNMP. Actually, that's a comparison between SNMP and Cisco. Right, now SNMP is used to alert on critical actions like the mentioned HSRP state changes. Okay, let's say your device got down. Let's say your active firewall become passive, or active firewall move to a suspended state. Right, in that case, your SNMP protocol will send one notification to one SNMP tool. Let's say we have one of the most popular one, which is 7. Okay, 7 is one of the most popular tool that we generally use for polling. Okay, now SNMP works on poll. Okay, works on poll resource mechanism with the SNMP server polling the device for response on interface health process. So basically, if long story in short, okay, SNMP will help you out to monitor a interface. If you enable SNMP configuration on your firewall, you can monitor an interface. If that interface goes down, you will get an alert. If the health, if your CPU or data plane CPU or management plane CPU goes higher than 80%, you will get an alert. Okay, so these kind of situations, for these kind of situation, we can set up this SNMP to our firewall. Okay, if I give you a brief idea about this configuration, I don't know guys whether because we have mixed type of crowd here, right? So we have a few people who are experienced, few of them are not experienced. Okay, they are fresher and they are looking for job, and so mixed kind of crowd we have. Okay, so here we have SNMP trap. Okay, in device we have SNMP trap. Simply we'll click on add, then give it a name. Then you need to provide more detail on it, right? Now, what is V2C and what is V3? Okay, now let's say I have provided a name. So this is my SNMP profile. Okay, and then I have to add that server over here. Okay, let's say this is my server 1 and SNMP manager. then SNMP manager IP address we need to enter here. Okay. Now for SNMP V2C, specify a name for the SNMP manager. Okay, guys, this is a very important feature. Okay, this is a very, very, very important feature if you are performing an initial configuration for your device, right? And 101% we are going to configure this feature whenever we deploy a firewall in production network. We definitely configure this. Okay. Now specify a name for the SNMP manager. The name can have up to 31 characters that are alphanumerical period underscore and hyphens. Okay. Now, okay, let me not go into that detail for that. Okay. Now, SNMP v3, actually we have two versions, I would say. There's one version 2 and version 3. Okay. So it depends upon what version you are using on your, I would say, let's say you have a tool, right? For who receive this SNMP polling messages, right? That tool will, let me explain here. So this is your firewall box, okay? And you have a tool that is installed on this computer, right? Right, and this computer is connected with one server where you have installed this tool, right? Now, what will happen if you enable SNMP feature on this firewall? If you configure a SNMP server, let's say this is my SNMP server IP /24/10.1.1.1. Okay. Now, your firewall will send an alert to the server. Okay. Now, the server will should display you that notification on this tool. Okay. The tool name is SEV1. I worked on SEV1. Yes, there can be multiple tools available for this type of monitoring, but I worked on this one generally, so yeah, I have idea about this. Okay, but again, the working will remain same, right? Only the tool name gets changed. Okay, now once let's say my firewall interface, internet connected interface gone down, and we get an alert on our SEV1 tool, right? Now I was talking about versions, right? So let's say this SEV1 tool we have configured on version 3. So on the firewall side, you have to enable version 3. That's it. This is all about version. If you have configured version 2 here, then you need to enable version 2 here on firewall side. So the configuration must match. Okay, this is what I want to say. Now server manager IP address, let's say, let me take this IP as a simple. Okay. Now community. Now you can enter either a server IP address or a URL, let's say .com. Okay. Server 2. Right. So you have both options. You can see that it says enter the IP address or FQDN. Okay. What is FQDN? FQDN is fully qualified domain name. It means that is a URL. Okay. Of the SNMP manager. So you can add FQDN or IP address, right? Server IP address. Now, once you configure this profile, your device, your firewall will start sending all the means interface related alerts and all to your 7 tools. Now, we can't see any option to monitor interface, right? On firewall, we don't have any option. Okay, let's say we are monitoring this interface. If this interface goes down, we'll get an alert on this server tool. So we don't have these kind of settings on the firewall. Generally, we are going to set up all those things on this tool. Okay, what this tool will do, it will keep on synchronizing with this firewall. It keeps on synchronizing with this firewall. If the CPU goes high, 80%, this tool will act and it will generate a notification. Simple. Clear? It will generate a notification, and after that, the L1 engineer or some other guys who are going to take further action on this, right? This is how it works, that SNMP. Okay. So that's a, I would say, important one. For the one who are working on firewalls, SNMP must be configured on each and every device. Now, SNMP counters threat logs and ACC. Okay, in a ACC tab we have ACC tab, and here we have threat activity tab, right? You can see threat logs over here. Okay. Threat logs, or I would say in graphical representation you can see, but if you want to see logs, threat logs, go to monitor tab. On the left hand side you have threat logs. Here it is. As of now, nothing is there, but if I show you this tab, so this tab looks like something like this. That's a traffic. Okay, so this is your threat logs. So these all are the logs generated by your firewall. For a specific port number 80, you can see that. Okay, if I give you some idea about this tab, so we have this icon. When you click on this icon, it will show you this log in detail. So we have receive time, and this is the type of vulnerability, and cross-site scripting attempt, cross-site scripting attempt. Okay, so you need to put this detail onto a threat vault, and threat vault is basically a database provided by PaloAlto. Right. So for that, again, you need a support portal email, support portal credentials. Then only you would be able to access threat logs. On threat logs, once you put this name, you will get more info about this type of attack. Okay. Or maybe generally on Google also it is available. Okay, you can try it over there. Now, this is my attacker IP and this is my victim, and on what port they are trying to perform this attack. This is a web browser type of, this attacker was using web browser type of application. Now, what action taken by your firewall? Your firewall has generated an alert. Okay. And what is severity level? It could be higher. So you can see that, and these are from which zone to which zone the traffic was going. So it came from trust zone and untrust and going to trust zone. So this is your threat tab, right? Threat logs, I would say. Now, Routing errors in configuration, you might have some routing errors. You may have some invalid static logs. Okay, service logs you can see in CLI only. Okay, and there are some show commands that you can use in CLI. Okay, in next slide we'll discuss about CLI, right? Counters, routing tables, PCAPs. Moving to the next part. So these are some few images, like you can click on interface. You can see the interface status on this dashboard. Okay, some basic things we have. So there is one extension available. If you want, you can download it. Okay, go to Chrome, load the extension in one tab, log into Firewall. Okay, this is the extension. Okay, what it will do is it will monitor the resources of your firewall. You can see that it will monitor traffic, it will monitor session, resources counter. Okay, let's move further. ACC tab. Okay. So you can apply a log filter. Let's say if you have so many logs like that. Okay. Let's say your firewall has generated 1,000 logs or 10,000 logs. So you can simply apply a log filter. So here you have filter option, add filter. Okay. On add filter, you can select the connector or, and then what type of attack you want to, what type of specific logs you want to search. Okay. Let's say we want to look at the application logs, which is present or equal to, then you need to enter value not equal to address. Okay, so again, this is also a part of troubleshooting. Clear? If you why we put this filter? Because my firewall has generated 10,000 logs. So in that case, we are going to apply this filter, right? We can apply a filter by putting few extension over here. Okay, like in this scenario, we have subtype equal to vulnerability. You can see that subtype equal to vulnerability. If you put this sentence, okay, and hit enter, it will filter all the vulnerability logs. Okay, so for that we have you will find a document where you will understand what type of command you can put here. Okay, so this document is also available on this PanOS or tech docs. If you require, I'll provide you this document. So you need to search it on Google. That's it. Now, these are the this is more information about that HTTP cross-site scripting attack. Okay. You can go to more detail on this article. I'm sharing this link because if I enter into this type of article, definitely it will be a time-taking process. Correct? Because these are some advanced troubleshooting steps, right? The main thing is you need to find out what are the logs, means whether a specific traffic from users from client side to a server side blocked by this firewall. If yes, your in threat logs you see those logs. Okay, it means you have to troubleshoot further. So in firewall, if I talk about troubleshooting perspective, we have discussed so many things like why SNMP polling required, what is threat logs, and how we see CPU uses, what will happen when CPU spikes and all. Okay, these type of scenarios. So let's move to the next tools, okay, that we can use. Now, so these tools are already available on your firewall, but we don't know, right? Now, in device, so this is another device, another tool available on your PaloAlto firewall, but we don't know. Okay, so in device, you go to troubleshooting tab. Let me see whether we have this troubleshooting tab. Okay, it is not there. Okay, it is there. Okay, go to device, and this is your troubleshooting tab. Okay, now what actions you can perform with this troubleshooting tab? Sure, I'll share recording if you want. Okay, definitely I'll share recording. Okay, now, so guys, you may require recording. I know that I'm going a bit faster, but we have so many things to cover, and the session will take around 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours. Right? So I'll explain you this troubleshooting tab, which has lots of features. Yeah, we'll discuss about it because in day-to-day activity, if you are working on PaloAlto firewall in day-to-day activity, you are going to use this tab very frequently. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll explain you some scenarios. In those scenarios, you are going to use this troubleshooting tab. Okay. Now, first one you can see we have security policy match. Okay. Now, why we require this for troubleshooting? Why we want to match security policy? Okay. First, let us understand what would be the scenario for this. Let's say we have a firewall. This is a switch, and these 4 hosts are connected to this switch. And this switch is connected with the firewall, and this firewall is connected with the ISP. Now, we are going to discuss about in what scenarios we are going to use this security policy match. Now, we have a user A, user B, user C, and user D, right? Now, the user A has an IP address of 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, and 11.4. Okay, these are the IP addresses of the user. Now, your user D has generated a ticket, and your user D complaining that I'm trying to access a server which is available over the internet. Okay, and I'm getting a deny message, or I'm not able to access these servers, right, which is available over the internet. Okay, so this guy complaining, the user D is complaining that he's not able to access these servers available over the internet. So what you can do is, now when you log into Firewall, you have seen that there are 10,000 policy we have in firewall? Total, we have 10,000 policies, right? Now, what you are going to in that case, how you are going to find out? Any suggestions? Anyone who wants to suggest something on this? If you have 10,000 rules, 10,000 security rules in firewall, what will happen in that case? How you are going to find out whether the communication is allowed for this specific user or communication is denied for this user?
Actually, we have the which you showed in troubleshooting. You will see the security policy match with the source IP destination port. It will provide us whether there is a rule or not for the given source and destination.
Okay, so as per you, you are directly going to check security policy? I would say no. Okay, we are directly not going to check security policy. Cool. Now let me show you why. Let me tell you why. First of all, we are going to check the traffic logs. Okay, we'll check the traffic logs and we'll put this user IP as a source IP and destination IP as a, let's say this server IP. Okay, let's say this server IP is 20.1. Okay. 20.1, I'm writing it in short form. Okay, so 20.1 is the this server IP. So we are going to check whether we are receiving a traffic logs or not. It might be possible that this user trying, so yes, you are also right, but that would be the last step. In last step, we are going to check security policy, right? Because first we'll start the troubleshooting from client side. Okay, we'll ask the user to provide source IP, destination IP, and destination port. What port is trying to access? Port 80, port 440, or whatever it is. We are going to check traffic logs first. Okay, so on go to monitor tab, go to traffic tab. So on traffic tab, you need to put source IP, destination IP on this search box. Okay, or you can add filter. Right. After providing that source IP and destination IP, source IP and destination IP, you will see some logs. And first thing, what you need to check, you need to check whether these logs are recently generated or these logs generated earlier or maybe 1 week before, or maybe 24-hour old logs, right? So you need to check these things. And one more thing, you need to ask user, you need to ask this question to user that you are the only one who is facing this issue, but everyone in this group, A, B, C, D, all other users are facing this issue. They are also not able to access these servers, right? We are going to ask few probing questions before we move to the testing and all those things, right? So first you need to gather the information from user before we start with the troubleshooting part and all those things. Okay. So now let's say it might be possible this cable is faulty. It might be possible that your switch generating some error on this port, right? There are so many scenarios, but let's talk about on firewall perspective. On firewall perspective, you are going to first check traffic logs. If traffic logs perfectly fine, everything going well. If you are seeing allow message on your firewall, right? You will also see the rule on traffic logs. Okay, so on the top we have filters, right? Go to columns and yeah, here it is, rules. Okay, rule. So if I show you this image, Okay, these are traffic logs, and you can see that this is the rule tab or rule, uh, uh, right? Now, here it is written internet. So this is the rule name, which is matched by this firewall, and the action is allowed, right? So you will get a rule name from there, right? Let's say you are not receiving a traffic, right? So now if you are not receiving a traffic on firewall, what will happen in that case? You have to clear from your side whether the communication for this specific user is allowed or not. So you need to get some information from user. Now, what information you are going to gather from user? First, you need to ask user to provide a source IP. So source IP is 11.4. What is destination IP? Destination IP is 20.1. Okay, and then source IP, destination IP, and destination port. On which port he is trying to access? Let's say port 443. Okay. Now, after getting this information, you have 10,000 policy in this firewall. So you are going to check whether the policy is available on our firewall for this particular source to destination or not. So simply you need to use this feature called test security policy. Okay, security policy match. Okay, you can access this feature from this troubleshooting tab, and there is one more option. Go to policies, go to security policy. Below you have test security match. Here it is, test policy match. You can access the same feature from here. Okay, test policy match. Now, if you go to NAT, in NAT as well, you have test policy match. In quality of service, you have test policy match. In means wherever you are using policies, you have this test policy match feature. When you click on it, you will get the same tab, same troubleshooting tab here, right? And this is a dedicated tab. When you go to device and troubleshooting, that's a dedicated tab. Okay, now in this firewall, if I see there, in policy, we have host group. What is host AIP 10.11.128? Okay, and it is going to google.com. Okay, so we don't have any specific IP. So let me give you an example for this test tab. Okay, now we want to check. We want to find out the security rule, right? Which is allowing this communication, right? Now, so we need to put these details. Okay, so select test. We want to match a security policy. Now you need to provide a zone from trust to untrust. And what is the source IP? Let's say the source IP. Destination IP. Okay, let me make some changes on this internet access policy. Destination. Let me make it this IP. Okay. Go to device. Destination port would be 80, and source user, if you have, you can provide. Otherwise, you can set the protocols. Application category, you can change if you want to provide a specific application like Facebook and all specific type of traffic, you can put it, otherwise leave it as it is and click on execute. Okay, once you click on execute, it will show you the policy name. This is my app ID policy. This is my policy name, guys. Okay, now this policy allowing this access means 10.111.28 is the user IP address, and this is my server IP address which is available outside. Right now, how this policy allowing this traffic? So now we got this policy name, right? To find out this name, we were performing this policy match. The app ID policy from trust zone to untrust. Actually, that's any policy. You can see that from untrust to untrust, trust to untrust, from any this source to any destination, to any port number. That is why. So this policy has matched, right? And that's a deny policy. You can see that. That is not a allow policy. This is a deny policy. Now you got the rule name. Out of 10,000 rule, you would be easily able to filter out the rule name, right? App ID policy. Now let me show you this rule. Go to policy security tab, and here it is, app ID policy. Here, source is any and destination is any. Trust to untrust and deny. Okay, so in the same way, you can match security policy. Right? You can match a NAT policy. If you have so many NAT rules available on your firewall, simply put the source IP, destination IP, source port, and destination port. Okay, and from which zone to which zone your traffic is going. Okay, and you need to select the test type as a NAT policy. Once you put all the information, and once you execute it, you will see the test result. If no rule were matched, you will get that type of error over here. Okay, you will get this information as well. If you are not able to find any result. Okay, so for troubleshooting purpose, you can initiate ping packets. Okay, you can provide the size of a packet. Okay, TTL value, pattern, and host as well. Okay, interval and source IP. So that is a kind of extended ping that we use in Cisco routers as well. Right? Update server connectivity external dynamic list. If you guys know this feature, EDL feature. Okay, wildfire routing. You can check routing as well. Okay, routing as well. You can execute fib lookup or mfib lookup. You need to provide destination IP and virtual router. So we are using default virtual router here, and click on execute. It will check whether this particular for this particular destination IP we have a route or not. Okay, you can execute these all type of things from here. So this is very important tab, and in day-to-day troubleshooting we frequently use this tab, right? Set vault, ping, trace route, right? So I would suggest you guys to spend some time on this if you guys are fresher and applying for job. The interviewer may ask you questions from this tab as well. So this is internal feature available on your firewall. Now, even if you go to any feature, let's say EDL, external dynamic list. Below you don't have this feature here. But in policy, you will get this option, test policy matching. Okay. routing. Let me check virtual router. In virtual router also we don't have this. Okay. You will find few of the options in troubleshooting tab. Now, slide number 19. Right? Now, why we use CLI and all. So, guys, these all points are not practical points. Let me tell you a scenario. Okay. Why we need a CLI. Okay. So, anyone who would like to answer this question, why we required CLI access of a firewall? Even we have a good GUI access, we can perform almost all the actions from GUI. But again, why we need CLI? Okay, let me answer it. So why we need CLI? Let's say you have lost GUI access. First condition. If you have lost GUI access, okay, this is as per my experience, right? Generally, if you face any issue with the GUI, you are going to access the CLI from your firewall and you are going to troubleshoot it further. Okay, now next thing is why we need CLI. Let's say we want to perform bulk configuration, right? Let's say we want to make so many objects in a single shot, right? In a single command, right? So we can perform that type of activity as well through CLI. Okay. Now, so this is the documented way, I would say, but in real time, generally we don't use CLI for all of these purposes, like feature specific details, protocol specific PCAPs, management plane PCAPs, processor level, because these all things are available on GUI very easily, right? Now this is another part, okay? That is called a feature packet capture in PaloAlto Firewall. Okay. Now, packet capture is one of the most important feature of this firewall. So, through packet capture, we can capture data plane interface traffic. Okay. We can capture data plane traffic, right? Means what data flowing from that particular interface. Now it is very same, like very similar to your feature called span, okay, or span. This feature is available on Cisco devices, okay. So that's a port mirroring feature, but this packet capture is not a port mirroring. Okay guys, give me a minute, then we'll start with packet capture. So guys, we'll discuss about this packet capture feature, which is one of the most important feature whenever you are performing a troubleshooting, right? So just matching a policy is not the part. Policy matching is part of troubleshooting, right? SNMP and all type of again a different type of troubleshooting, but in some scenarios, we may not follow that approach. Okay. So yes, policy testing is must, I would say. Whenever you receive a ticket and you are facing some kind of issues, you can check security policy, NAT policy, and other configurations as well. Okay. Traffic logs. So these all are part of troubleshooting. Now, we are going to discuss about packet capture feature in detail. Okay. That's a most very important feature. Okay. Even even experienced people, 10-year experience, 15-year experienced people, they don't know how to apply this packet capture properly on this firewall, right? Let me discuss it in detail. Okay. So just give me a 1-minute break and then we'll start with packet capture. Okay, guys. So before we start with packet capture, just wanted to ask you if you have any question. Any question before we start with this?
Sir, after actually you have explained about the policy match, right? Security policy match up in the troubleshooting option. After that, have you discussed anything? Actually, my system got logged out again just now.
Yeah. We have not discussed that anything. Now we are starting with packet capture after security policy match.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so let's start with packet capture.
Sir,
Okay,
one thing, sir. Actually, sir, from the GUI log, so actually when source is trying to access any destination, we can see the log in the GUI monitor tab. So there we can do we have any option to see SYN like it? Is it SYN packet and SYNAC packet like that? In the detail, because we have an
yes, we can check it.
and if you click that, it will show all the things.
Yes. Only we can check it through CLI. Okay. There are some commands, right? That we can
From
use.
GUI, sir.
No, it is not available on GUI.
Yeah, from CLI, I am aware, sir. From GUI. Okay.
It is only available in CLI. Okay. You can see. You have to put one command called show session ID. Okay, show session ID. After that, you have to put that session ID number. Okay, once you put that, you will see more detail about it.
Okay.
So after this batch, I'll show you. Or tomorrow we'll discuss about CLI commands in tomorrow's session. So definitely, I'll show you those small things, right? And if you want to see, you can put this command over the Google. Show session ID. Just put this command, show session ID command in PaloAlto. Just put this search on Google. You will get more information, detailed information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it will show you the complete session information A to Z, from client to client and client to server. Complete information you will get. Okay. let's start with packet capture, one of the most important feature, and I would say it is only applied by a level 3 guy, not layer 3. Level 3 guy, or maybe someone senior who is available on your project, right? Whose present may be required, right? Or maybe not required. So packet capture. Okay. Now let me open that article so that I can show you some data as well, right? Because the firewall that we are using, that is unlicensed firewall. So, and even we don't have any traffic going on through this firewall, that's a virtual firewall. Now, so guys, anyone know how to capture packet from Wireshark? Okay, let's say this is my computer, right? I want to inspect traffic, or I want to see what traffic flowing through my Ethernet, from my laptop Ethernet. Can we do it from our Wireshark? Can we capture those packets? Okay. Yes, we can capture those packets, right? We can capture any interface which is available on any other remote device, right? We can perform almost everything. Even if I talk about hackers and all, they guys also use Wireshark to capture the packets, right? Okay. Now we are starting with packet capture, one of the most important feature, and if packet capture say this packet capture results show you that that particular action is denied, or particular source IP to particular destination IP, there is no traffic going on, it means this is final. Okay. After packet capture, if user again still facing issue with anything, then we are going to escalate the case to tag, PaloAlto tag. So this is the dead end, I would say, in PaloAlto firewall. So this is the last troubleshooting step that we follow, okay, in PaloAlto firewall. Otherwise, we are going to check all those things, traffic logs, policy matches, netting, and other things as well, right? This is the last step, packet capture for troubleshooting. So packet capture in a layman language, packet capture is something, let's say we have a user A, okay, user A here. So user A IP address is 11.1, and there are some servers available, and the server IP address is 20.1 is the server IP address. Now this is firewall box. Your firewall box, we want to capture traffic from 11.1 to 20.1, right? Whatever the traffic going from computer A to the server 20.1, we want to capture that traffic, right? We want to capture that traffic. How we are going to capture that traffic? By using a packet tracer. Now we know what is packet tracer, but how to apply it perfectly, that is also required. Okay, so let me move to my firewall and go to monitor tab. On the left hand side, you have this feature, packet capture. Okay, now so you can see that here we have configure filtering option. Okay, configure capturing. These are the settings. Okay, and captured files. So whatever the files captured by this firewall, you will see here. Okay, you will see here the output. Now, first thing, whenever we start a filter, click on clear all settings. Okay, whenever we want to apply a filter, click on clear all settings. Next step is configuring filtering. So we need to configure filter. We are not going to enable a filter. We are going to configure filter, means from what source to what destination you want to capture the packets. Click on manage filters. Okay, now click on add, select. So guys, in one go you can apply only 4 filters. This is condition number 1. Okay, now why we have less filters? So there are so many reasons. Because if you apply more filters, let's say 10 filters, 20 filters, your firewall CPU goes high. And if your firewall CPU goes high, it might be possible that the users who are communicating through this firewall, they may not able to work on some kind of software that they are using, right? Or they might face connectivity issue, right? So we can only configure 4 filters in packet capture. Okay, now let's set up one filter. Okay, now this is filter number 1, ID number 1. Now you need to provide ingress interface, from which interface your traffic is coming. So let's say in our scenario, we have computer A. This is acting as a source. Okay, so ingress interface is my trust interface. This firewall has a 2 interface, right? This is my trust and this is my untrust, because this is connected towards the internet, right? So ingress interface would be ETH1/1. So here in this firewall we have Ethernet 1/1 is my outside interface and ETH1/2 is my inside interface. Okay, so it is asking for ingress interface, from where the traffic is coming. Now we need to provide source. Source is trust. Sorry, source, basically you need to put IP. Okay, so what is my computer IP? 11.1. So let me put 11/24 you can put, otherwise you can put a single IP address as well. Okay, destination. So what is my destination? 20.1. Okay, 20. Let's say this is my server IP address. Now you need to put source code. So guys, if you are accessing this server from a browser, so that browser, let's say the computer is using Google Chrome browser. Okay, so it might be possible that that browser generate a random port numbers, right? So if you are sure about source port number, then you can put, otherwise leave it as a blank. It might be possible your browser will generate different port numbers. Okay, now destination port number you need to provide. So let's say we are accessing the server on port number 443, right? Next is protocol. So make it empty, not required. Okay, so if you want to exclude it, you can exclude it, include it, or only. Okay, you have these all options. And if you are putting IPv6 address, just check this box. Okay, if you have IPv6 addresses here. So this is filter number 1. Okay, so by creating this filter, we have configured a filter from source to destination. Now we want to capture logs from destination to source as well, right? So that we'll understand communication in better way. Okay, now click on add, create second filter from outside interface and from the server to this destination, right? And in revert, what port number will get? What source port? 443. Server will reply you with port source port 443, right? Destination port could be random. This is the second filter that we have configured. Okay. Now, in the same way, guys, if you want to capture traffic from computer D to this server, you can do that. Okay. For that, you have to create another 3 filter and filter number 4. Clear? And then you need to put all of those details.
Sorry to interrupt. You are talking on mute, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. So
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah. So what I was saying, we can put filters in a similar way from a specific source to a specific destination. Yeah. So we can create 4 filters, right? Now, moving to the next point, let's say we have created these 2 filters. Okay, click OK. Right? You can see that 2 out of 4 filters are set, right? As of now, we have not enabled the packet capture. Okay. Next step. Once you create filters, means from which source to which destination you want to capture the packet, right? The next step is configure capturing. Okay, configure capturing. Now, what type of logs you want to capture? What type of logs? Deny logs, allow logs, right? Not logs means packets. Okay, deny packets, allow packets, firewall packet, or you will say received packet or transmitted packet. So click on add, click on stage, drop packet, firewall packet, receive packet, and transmit packet. Okay. So what is received on this firewall? What is transmitted through this firewall? And these are some firewall logs and drop. Okay. Let's say I want to create one packet capture stage for drop. Put the file name. So file name would be drop. Okay. Drop. It will only capture drop packet, which is dropped for this source to this destination. That's it. It will not capture any other packets. Okay. So drop packets. Packet count, you can put whether you want to capture only 10 packets, 100 packets, or 1000 packets. Right. Next, byte count you can set. Otherwise, generally we don't do that. Okay. Click on OK. Now this will this drop packet file is basically a PCAP file, packet capture file. Okay, your firewall will generate a packet capture file with this name. You will only see a drop packet when you open this packet capture file. Okay, I'll show you everything in this scenario in this slide as well. Okay, but let me discuss here first. Drop. After that, create another filter for firewall. So firewall packets. Click OK. Transmitted packets. In short, we call it RX. RX means received. Okay. And these are transmitted called TX. Okay. So now we have created 4 packet capturing filters, right? So after creating, after providing a specific source destination IP and this, right? Now, first you have to power on this filtering option, right? After, once you start filtering the traffic, you have to click on packet capture option. Okay, then it will give you warning. Now, what this warning says, packet capture is for troubleshooting only. This feature can cause the system performance to degrade and should be used only when necessary. After the capture is complete, please remember to disable the feature. Okay, guys, this is very important line. If you forget to disable this filter, you might face firewall related issues or bandwidth related issues, right? Now it says, do you want to continue? Yes, click on OK. Once you continue, once we click on OK, the firewall will start packet capturing and you will see PCAP file over here, right? So you will see file name and what date it got generated and size, right? So it will automatically start capturing. So as of now, there is no traffic going from this source IP to this destination IP. That is why we are not able to see anything over here. So you will get output, captured file output over here, right? And when you click on that file, you would be able to easily download it to your computer. And once you download it, you can open that PCAP file into Wireshark. Okay. Now, how to properly power off your filters? This is another option, another action. Because whenever you apply this filter, your CPU goes high. In our scenario, we don't have any traffic for these IPs. That is why it is not getting high. Okay, first switch off this packet capture and filter. Okay, so guys, do not forget to power off these filters. Okay, this is very important. Now, let me show you in practical how it looks like. Okay, as I told you, go to packet capture. Okay, go to monitor tab, then packet capture. Right now you can see that enable or disable the packet filter, enable or disable the packet capturing, add or remove firewall stages. Okay, we already did that in practical, right? Which packet needs to be captured? Okay, clear all settings, clear all packet capture settings, restore to default. We already discussed all of these points. Now let me show you. So this is the first step, right? Now, source IP, destination IP, and if you want to capture reverse traffic, you want to put the IP addresses. Okay. Now, I'll share this article link on chat box if you want. Okay, I've shared this. So if we now switch the filtering button on, the filter will be applied to any new session that matches the criteria. Okay. through CLI, you can put this command show counter global filter delta. Yes, packet filter. Yes. Okay. Let's skip this as of now. Packet capture stage. We already did that, right? Drop dot pcap. Receive pcap, transmit pcap. Okay, RxTX that we already configured. So someone asking me about that session ID, right? So show session all. Once you put this command, you will see all the session going on through this firewall, or you will see session table, right? So this is ID basis. This is the ID that you need to see. Once you put this ID, show session ID, and then you need to put this number. You will get more details about the SYN packet and other details, right? Show session all to show you sessions. Okay, this is your capture file tab. This is this tab, capture file tab, right? So in capture file tab, you can see that you have got two files, receive.pcap and transmit.pcap, and this is 0.366 MB, 0.435 MB. Now you can download it simply once you click it. Once you click on it, you will download it in your computer, right? Now you can see that we have opened this capture file in Wireshark, and simply you can apply filter. So basically, we have captured the packet for that particular source destination, and you can see that 192.168.0.34, 192.51, sorry, 198.51, 100 and 230. This is what we have configured in these filters. 192.168.0.34, 198.51, 100 and 97. So this is how we can perform packet capturing on our firewall. And just share this pcap file with the user. If your user is still saying that we are not able to access that particular server due to this firewall and all, right? You can simply share these pcap files. Definitely your user will be satisfied after sharing this packet captures. He can also see these packet captures, right? So that is why I said this is the last state. Whenever you, if you think that your firewall working fine for that particular specific user, this is the last step you have to take for troubleshooting. Just capture the packet and filter out those logs and share these screenshots with the user. Okay. Definitely he would be satisfied with your troubleshooting. After performing these filter, you may need to involve some other teams in troubleshooting, because on firewall side everything is working fine. So no further troubleshooting required if you have this packet capture. Okay. So I have shared this article link on the chat box. I think that would be enough for today. Maintenance mode, we'll discuss about it tomorrow. Okay. We'll start with maintenance mode, and the next slide we have for CLI. Okay. So we'll discuss about few CLI commands, means what is sample commands, what is prompt sign, okay, and all those things. So these all slides we are going to cover tomorrow. Okay. And we'll also try to cover flow logic. So any question, guys, for today's session? And how was it? Definitely, I want to ask you guys about the feedback for this session. So I hope you understand the scenarios, few of the troubleshooting steps. Not few, but these all are the very most important steps, I would say, because generally in day-to-day activity, we work on these features, this PaloAlto firewall. Okay, so this session was specifically only for PaloAlto firewall. We are not discussing about any other firewall. In other firewalls, we have different options as well. Okay. So guys, any question?
So yeah, just one question. Just wanted to check with you. Like, okay, so when we are deploying this PaloAlto firewall in on-premise and in AWS, also the method will be the same, right? More or less, the packet capturing and everything.
Can you please repeat your question? Like your voice actually.
Okay, so when we deploy this PaloAlto firewall in VM, the virtual
Yes, yes, yes.
in the on-premises that physical firewall, right? So whatever you are explained, that will be the same, right, on both the infra.
Yes, correct, correct. So whatever I have explained here, you can apply the same process, or you can follow the same steps to perform the activity on a production firewall or a live firewall.
No, I mean to say when we deploy this firewall in AWS also, right?
Yes, yes.
So
We can deploy this firewall. Yeah.
so the packet capturing method, everything will be the same, right?
Same. Because yeah, in my present project, yes, I have worked on Azure firewalls as well, right? So again, the GUI interface will look same. Nothing has changed. Okay, but the thing is that firewall is deployed on Azure cloud. That's it. Everything is same. Packet capture, everything is same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even the CLI is same. You can perform all those CLI commands, right? License, upgrading, everything is same. Even we can connect all firewalls. Let's say 7-8 firewalls in a stack. We can also do that on Azure side. Cloud. We can deploy these firewall in a stack mode as well on Azure cloud.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So if you don't have any other question for today, we will connect tomorrow 7:30, and I'll try to cover CLI commands. Okay, and flow logic we'll discuss about it. Flow logic is kind of your packet flow, which is again an important point from a troubleshooting perspective. Okay, then see you tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, okay.
From
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.